Good morning, everyone, and a big welcome on behalf of the City of Cape Town and Smart Procurement. My name is Debbie Tagg. I'm the COO with Smart Procurement World, and you are joining us at the 8th Annual City of Cape Town Smart Supplier Conference. And the benefits of technology is that you are joining us from anywhere. You probably, hopefully, have a cup of coffee in front, gets a bit hidden there, so please make sure you've got that, and we're up for an exciting program. It is my privilege to just summarize a bit about the partnership and the City of Cape Town Smart Supplier and program and competition. And I'd like to just take you through a bit of the journey of what brings us to the 8th annual. So this program really has evolved over the years. I'm sure there are ones in the audience today that will remember our times at the Convention Center, Grand West, and all sorts of other different ways. But the delivery model and program and content have really grown in and been geared towards more impact for business in terms of your day-to-day running and access to prospective customers. So whilst the program, just a disclaimer, has been and is supported by the city, who's an amazing partner, and honestly, we work across the country, we even work into Africa. They are such a unique, forward-looking, innovative partner around small business development. They make it possible for these small businesses like yourselves to gain access outside of government business. And it really is about saying, who are the buyers that I can meet outside? So whilst it is hosted by the City of Cape Town, it doesn't mean that you're going to do business with the city, because there are only one buyer in the entire South African market. So again, I just want to cover the program highlights. As I mentioned, this is the 8th iteration of the Smart Supplier program. We had 246 entrants. We created 2 masterclasses, which were based on business topics that were suggested and requested by these entrants. And out of the 2 that we had a consistent 80 small businesses attending on each day. So our participants were encouraged to complete assignments on a business needs analysis, as well as recording a video of them introducing their business, because you are your business, right? This then led to 40 businesses being selected as the top 40. And then we looked at things like class participation, completion of class work, submission of video, and then also other qualifying program criteria. And from these, it was a great privilege with the panel of judges to select the 5 top businesses that received a prize of something that I think, back in the day, it was a cash prize, maybe being at the conference. But this, first and foremost, is hours of consulting with a business expert. And that is really what's changed in our model, is sometimes you need the right person at the right time to help you with your business, not just giving a standard solution. So these 5 businesses have used their time with these specialists to look at improving business process, documentation, how to increase access to market, even things like, which I think we're going to touch a bit on today, social media, marketing, and sales optimization, because at the end of the day, it's all about the money. The other 40 finalists still receive market linkage through the Smart Procurement Network and market benefits. So we have online live supply matchup sessions that we host on a regular basis, and we also facilitate meetings for these ones. It was a great privilege. Can't believe it feels like a lifetime ago. It was only last week, Monday, where we had an exclusive celebration with the city at the Civic Center on the 24th, where we had both the finalists as well as, which this is really the value of the partnership, over 20 corporate buyers, 20 companies that were there to meet with these businesses. So speed networking happens as well. There's all sorts of benefits that continue. And I think it's, you saw in the, if you were here early, you saw the acknowledgement of our top 5 winners, and just unfortunately I wasn't able to be there on the 24th. So from a smart procurement leadership point of view, I also just want to say congratulations to our overall winner, which is Trinity Trust, Eco Drive, Meraki, Proud Talent, and iWi-Fi. And if what I'm saying really resonates with you, I hope it means you're going to try and enter next year, because each year we want to keep encouraging and supporting. So today's topic, well, if anyone's heard of ChatGPT and AI, and if our responses put our head in the sand like an ostrich, or we start to gloss over, you're not alone. No matter what industry you're in at the moment. But I think the most amazing thing for AI, which we're going to talk to now as I introduce our wonderful panel, is that it actually has the most amazing solutions to make us as smaller businesses more efficient. So the theme for today is AI for business growth. We know it's a powerful tool that's emerged. It can absolutely transform the landscape of SMEs in so many amazing ways. We know we have a high failure rate as SMEs. And how do we use AI to reduce this risk and increase your profits? So what we're going to explore today with our expert panel is that how AI can help reduce the amount of time that we are spending on preparing marketing messages, looking at accuracy, increasing engagement. And again, the marketing machine is changing all the time. I mean, depending on the age group here, you know, the marketing platforms, I don't think TikTok was around when I started on Facebook, and all these kind of things, you know, how do you even know which platform and how? And I'm not going to take away thunder because I'm not the expert. So how does it help us to capture? How does it help us to analyze? How does, I love this term, numberify our efforts? So why is this important? Because we all realize as small business owners or medium-sized business owners that time is a resource or currency that we have very little of. In many cases, you are everything in your business. So as small businesses, we need to look at how much time we spend versus the results. But if we're not in that marketing machine, we're not growing. So AI can help us deliver accurate messaging in record time, and really a tool we cannot live without. And I know we're looking at it from a marketing perspective today, but I also urge you to have a look at it from a personal assistant. We actually had a conference last week with all of the Western Cape Provincial, it was the government guys, procurement. We had almost 300 procurement professionals, and we spent that time showing them how they, in their job, can use ChatGPT and AI. And I think we just blew them away. And the term was, what if you had an assistant? What would you ask them to do? So think about it that way as well. So there is the question is, can AI replace people, and should we be afraid? Well, Brad and your wonderful panel is going to answer that. And nudge, nudge, wink, wink. No, I think we've got something powerful that if you grab it with both hands, I think those, hopefully these that are here today, and if you start to engage it as a tool, it's going to change your world. So without further ado, Brad, I'd like to hand over to you to introduce the panelists, and everyone enjoy the workshop. We also a workshop conference, actually. Please, it is a very interactive. Use the chat. We've got a whole panel that's going to be talking on the chat, very practical tools that will be shared. So this time this morning will not be wasted, and I don't think you'll ever look back and say it didn't probably change your life today. So Brad, over to you.
Wow, Debs, talk about setting us up. It's like so much pressure. But no, it's all good, all good. I think I recognize some guys in the room already, which is really great for us. And yeah, this is very interactive. If any of you have sat in our sessions before, Caroline, Esther, and I, you know that we're all about the questions and answers. So we're going to encourage you to please put down in the chat section what business you have, what industry you're focusing on. Tell us your pain points, because we can incorporate that in our presentation. And that's when you really, really get great value. So with me today, I've got Est. You know, I'm not a big person about, you know, Est is this, Est is that. I just work with Est. I know that Est can close deals on LinkedIn. She's really good at that. She's a connector. She understands the digital landscape brilliantly. And I think it's someone you really need to listen to. And if I had a small business, which I do listen to Est. I attend all of Est's sessions. I take notes and I learn. So please pay attention. Est is going to share some golden nuggets. Caroline is incredibly structured. She is the structured person I've never had in my life. She is absolutely amazing. She understands how to numberify what you're doing. In other words, how to take your effort and put that into a report that you can review and you can look at, and then you can make decisions on your business moving forward. I've known Caroline for some time. She's helped with systems and some of the clients that we have. And again, absolutely amazing. But at the end of the day, guys, it really is about how do we make money? You know, we're all small business owners. You're giving up 2 hours of your time to be with us. The big question is how do we use artificial intelligence as a tool to help us, number one, save time, and number two, to make money? And that is going to be our key focus area today. But if you're sitting there and doing something else, I'm going to encourage you to stop, to listen, make notes, even if you're going to get the recording, because there's going to be things out there that's going to grab your attention. Ask as many questions as you can. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting your time here. And remember, if we have a rate of 80% businesses failing in the first 3 years, and we've got 100 people in the room, that's telling us that 80 people sitting here have a huge chance of failing. So do you want to be the 80 or do you want to be the 20? So that's a question you've got to kind of ask yourself. So put everything into the session and we will give you everything back. So before we move into Est is going to share her screen with us and get ready for the presentation. Deb's asked a question, should we be scared of AI? My answer will obviously be no. I think AI is a tool. You know, this is not Terminator. We're not going to have this really big guy come down totally naked and run around the city and try and kill people because there was a robot that was accidentally created and wada. That's probably not going to happen in Cape Town or South Africa anytime soon. We have a lot of our other nonsense to put up with. But AI can be scary if you don't know what you're doing. And that is why these sessions are important, because people like Brad, people like Est and Caroline, we use this every single day. We're going to give you practical solutions. We are going to show you and tell you what we do to make money in our business. All three of us make money. We do very well. But we use AI as a tool. We don't let it pressure us. We don't let it scare us. We understand exactly what we're doing. But what I love about Est and Caroline is they're going to say to you, this is how you do it. They are going to show you the steps. So don't be shy to ask what you feel is a dumb question. When I start something new, I'm that guy that asks all those dumb questions. I'm like, how do I even access these platforms? Because they don't have a normal web address. What is .ai after something? Does it mean it's an AI platform? Is it a social media platform? Ask the questions. Is Facebook AI? Ask those questions and we will be able to answer them. So Est, we're going to move into you. How this is going to work basically, guys, we've got you for 2 hours. Okay, so Debbie's already chewed away about 15 minutes. We're going to have Est talk about 2 seconds because Est is like, you know, Sonic Hedgehog. She's like, but she's going to do this for 25 minutes. We're then going to take a break and do a little bit of Q&A. And then we're going to have Caroline chat through her section for 25 minutes. And then we're going to do Q&A again. So we will keep an eye on the chat. If we don't get to your questions, go onto social media, go onto LinkedIn, find us, message us, ask us those questions. That is what we are here for. Okay. Please don't walk away from the session not understanding. Okay. Even if we have to answer your question 2 or 3 times over, We don't have a problem with that at all. So Est, what are you going to be talking about today? So it's all about social media, right? Like I know my customer, right? Est, I know my customer. I know I've done my research. I know what my customer is looking for, but I don't know what to say. Like, what do I say? How do you solve that for me?
Well, I mean, once again, thanks for having me. I'm so excited about this because it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Because when I start playing around with Chatty, as my nickname for ChatGPT-4 is, I will spend hours on this platform. And then after a while, my husband and child come and say, hi, could you please come and like have dinner or something? Because it is so interesting and it's so much fun to see the outputs that come through it. My head of copy always gets highly offended when I say I'm going to chatty something. So I had her on a call the other day and I just started, she asked me a question. I said, oh, hold on, let me go quickly check. And I pulled up and I just started prompting and things. And she was so amazed at the process as to how Chatty actually goes through things and how it came up with specific answers. So today I'm going to take you through that process. And whether you're using Chatty or any other AI tool, they basically just work off the same premise, right? So I just also want to mention that because there is so much and we only have limited amount of time with you, we have put together a handout that is detailing a whole lot of additional steps, all the prompts that you can think of. So please don't stress, guys, in terms of having to furiously take notes, because it is a lot. I'd rather you sit and listen and absorb and ask the questions, like Brad said, than furiously write down. Otherwise, you can just check with Heidi's AI assistant who's taking notes for us in any case.
I see that. I was like, shout out to Heidi. She's got this. She should be on our session, actually doing part of our session. I'm like, I didn't even know you could do that. So
yeah, that's brilliant.
I think before you jump into it, the one question I want to ask you, and I know I'm throwing you in the deep end here, but I know you love this, is as a small business, is this going to help me, one, save time, which is my big currency that I have? And is it going to help me make money?
Yes and yes, right? So remember,
I love that.
None of us are in the business of trading and trying to figure things out the long way. Time is money, very expensive currency, right? Many of us are solopreneurs. We don't have these massive corporate engines behind us that can help in terms of figuring things out and looking at what worked previously and so forth. So, you've got to always break up your day and go, okay, Phil, I have to earn X amount of money today for me to reach target at the end of the month because I've got X amount of expenses. Okay, so this is what I teach all my clients and students. Caroline would know. So you take your day, and if you have to make 100 Rand a day, how do you spend every single minute of that day to get to 100 Rand? Then you will very quickly start seeing, where can I take not shortcuts, but things that are going to optimize the outputs that I can get quicker, faster, so I can get down to the money bit. How can I use Chatty to help me to figure out some aspects of a proposal so I can get the proposal out and I can get another proposal out, as opposed to spending hours trying to figure these things out myself? The thing you've got to, however, know is with any type of data, what you put in is what you're going to get out. Now, where things start going wrong, and then I'm going to jump into Chatty, is that people take Chatty at face value. They do a prompt, and then they go, okay, I'm just going to take that. And then people go, well, I can immediately see this comes from AI, right? I even have some clients, if you copy and paste from Chatty, it creates a funny little square thing. And I always said, could you actually just copy and paste without this so you don't look as obvious as that?
But Est, so tell me, how do you know it's from, like, if I type in, please give me social media posts for the next month, and it pops out an answer, right? And I know that it's really important to get that right, and you're going to explain that, you're going to show us that. But how do you know it's from ChatGPT if I copy and paste and I'm scaling?
So if you don't copy and paste text without formatting, I can immediately see, number one. Okay. Number two, you see Caroline knows. Number two is if you are sounding like a chat, like a robot,
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I always, when we write content and posts and things, and I always say to my students and my clients, when they're doing messages and DMs, I said, read that back to yourself. Is that how you talk?
Yeah, no, very
Or
true. It's not,
changes.
yeah. There's no
Exactly.
human element,
So
I think.
chat
Yeah.
is not a replacement to humans. It's absolutely not a replacement to humans. It's a time saver. It's a fantastic ideation tool. And it's a very, very powerful tool for somebody that isn't feeling 100% confident quite just yet in terms of creating content. And as you start using it more, you know, and I always just read your stuff out back to yourself as well, so that you can hear, am I sounding like a dojo, or am I sounding like a human?
We don't want to lose that flavor, you know, that personal connection with the customer. So we want to always make sure that whatever AI tool we use, that we just have a look at what is being generated out. Caroline, you were agreeing. I want to ask you the big question, because I think you are a big money spinner here. You know, Caroline has the perfect life. She's got the view of the mountain. She's just, you know, absolutely amazing. So tell us, save time, make money. What do you say?
Absolutely. I'm looking at the mountains as we speak. Sorry to say. Honestly, I have a super view on the mountains. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's all about time saving. It's all about, as you said, the money currency, being as productive as possible, working smarter, not harder. And my session will cover that. I just want to hook onto your question on how would one know? There are so many tools available already. Please don't ask me names for the moment, but that can check whether, I know at university, one of my friends there is a lecturer, and he said they have tools now to check whether people are using any AI as is, like chats. I call it. I like to refer to it as chats.
So everyone's got a nickname, right? They know it so well, they give it a nickname. So Es, do you want to take us through, demo some stuff for us?
Perfect. Okay, I just jump straight in.
But as you go in, I want to just highlight something. You know, we had a comment here that I thought I'd like to just bring up. So Anelli was telling us they're in the vegetation business. I think that was quite left field for me. And I thought that could be quite nice to raise. So Anelli was saying, we are from Wesco Vegetation Management and Services, and we're looking at more AI to help with our, you know, to apply to our industry. AI, they said, we're looking forward to learn more about AI capabilities. So I just want to say, you know, you choose AI to shorten the tasks that take you long, where possible. I mean, that's the essence of it. If you are, for example, I'm a writer and I want to create generic copy, I would use AI, which then usually takes me 4 hours to write, then takes me an hour to write and a half an hour to review, check, personalize, customize, and then move out. So, Anelli, if you think about it, I've now saved 6 hours by just using a tool that usually takes me longer. There are some things you can't do, some things that's human involved. But yes, there are a lot of tools out there up and above ChatGPT, but you're using this as an example because of time.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is as well is, you know, also just remember, guys, just because there's an AI tool out there doesn't mean it's a good AI tool, right? And I just want to start off with that, because anyone that knows me knows I'm all about authenticity. Okay, so I'm not in the business of you using a tool that is scraping email addresses or you know, pulling information from places that you ordinarily wouldn't have had access to, and then using that as a de facto way to spam people and so forth. So I just want to heed a bit of a warning. Tread lightly on AI. With AI, make sure that, you know, you feel comfortable in terms of, does this align with my values? Or am I now trying to find sneaky ways to use the AI tool to get to customers? And because the thing is, guys, besides it not being ethical, it's not legal. And thirdly, your success rate is going to fall through the floor, because people don't respond to that type of marketing. And that's why when I use AI, to me, it's all about relationship-based prompting. Okay, and it helps me to really understand something from the perspective of my customer who I ordinarily would have had to go and ask. And that's where the power of this tool comes in.
Wow.
So this is, as we say, Chatty's homepage. The link is in the document, so please don't stress. You can sign up. I'm obviously logged in, and you can see I chatty quite a bit. Chatty is my friend. We chat a lot, right? So I'm on ChatGPT 4. It's a paid for version. It's, I think, $20 a month or something. Do you need ChatGPT 4? No, you can use the free version. Absolutely. You just may need to massage the information a little bit more, because on ChatGPT 4, they give you more prompts to work with. They give you more answers, and the quality is slightly better. So, but really, guys, I'm probably the cheapest marketer out there. I very reluctantly pay for things, but this one I am paying for. Okay, so now you will see here that I've got this little K installed. Now it's something called Keywords Everywhere, and I just want to go in here. It's free. Remember, I'm cheap. So I am just going to find it over here. So it's a Google extension. Sorry for anybody that uses non-Google things. Caroline, sorry. So Caroline and I are like on different planes of
but Esther, I like that, because we don't all operate from the same systems.
100%.
So what you've shown us so far is you've given us the link, which we will get in the documents on Friday. We've come into the platform, and you've shown us that it's actually pretty easy to read through and follow the steps. And I think that's important. So if you're someone like Singele, who does laboratory services, this is not really their space. They're not in the creative industry. Content might be a little bit difficult for them. So the simplicity is I think, so nice. I think it's just so easy.
Yeah, and the cool thing is like, you just need to understand, what do I use where, right? So this little thing is a extension. It's free. You switch it on, and then this is what happens. I'm about to rock your world. Okay,
Nice.
Right. So the nice thing about Chatty is it works with a lot of things. Does someone actually want to give me their business, and I can use their business as an example? Anybody?
We have a few. We have actually quite a few. Can I pick one? But then I'm going to sign
Don't stitch me up with like molecular gastronomy on a tile in a.
We've got such interesting businesses here. I feel like a little bit like intimidated, I must say. We've got some system developer here. Okay, you know what? We're going to do a personal favorite. Is Janet. Janet has MLT car hire and tours. And we work with Janet, so it's a little bit of a sneaky. But so Janet has to create a lot of content around, selling tours, shifting, vehicles, etc. So it's Janet, MLT car hire and tours. Janet, if you're here and you're listening and you want to unmute and also be part of the, I see you've unmuted already. Good morning, Pi.
Hello, Brad. Thank you for choosing us. I'm so excited about the session. So tell me what you need.
Okay, Janet. So this is always where I start, right? So the thing with Chatty is you've got to tell it what to do, okay? And it's got to be trained. It's like a good dog. I had a very serious conversation with him yesterday because he was misbehaving. And I told him after a while, can you just do what I told you to do? And he was very apologetic to me. So Chatty, you've got to tell what to do, and you've got to tell him what to do in little steps. Okay, now tell me a little bit about your audience, Janet. Who are you targeting?
So right now, the Cape Town International Airport is bringing a huge influx of people from other provinces and other countries. So one of the things I would ask Chatty to do is to differentiate for me potential customers that are needing vehicle rental at the airport.
Okay, vehicle rental. So you're not targeting B2B, you're targeting B2C.
B2C for this exercise.
Which one you want to do?
Yes.
B2C.
Yes.
Okay, right. What is your company name again?
It's MLT Car Hire and Tours.
MLT Car Hire and Tours. Now, the reason I need to know that is right, you'll see on the left-hand side here of my screen is chat keeps every conversation you have, right? And you'll see some of them, like I'll give an example. Hold on, let me pick an example here. This is not to overwhelm you. This is just to show you, open. This is when you hope the Wi-Fi works properly.
That's all good, all good.
Yeah, this is just to show you that when I teach it right at the beginning, and I then start prompting again on other things, chat remembers what it's done, right? So that's a tip for you guys, is don't always do a new chat. So I have chats by companies, I have chats by what I'm trying to achieve, but if I'm setting up Chatty in the beginning, I need to teach it, okay, well, what does it need to know about MLT, car, and tours? Now, this is how we deal with things, right? Because I think a lot of times as well is people look at it from their perspective. So you now wanted to know, how do you differentiate yourself? Okay, Janet? Now,
yes, that's correct.
We are all those people who want to go, oh, well, please buy my stuff because I have blinky lights and, you know, I have shiny little banners and things, and that's going to make me special and everything else that goes in. Tip number one, guys, always look at it from your customer's point of view. Okay, so there are a myriad of chats and prompts in the document. We are now just going to play around here. So we are going to go. You are the CEO of and Caroline's going to laugh at me because she uses the voice version of this. I type. You are the CEO of MLT, Car and Tours, and you primarily work from the Cape Town airport. You are finding that the competition.
Oh, the pressure of getting it right the first time. If I had to do this,
anyone who knows who I am when I type, because I can never type when I'm typing live. You are the
building up
that
a
the
sweat.
competition is quite. So now you see, you're now telling Chatty.
Okay.
This is, you are the CEO. Where you are telling them your competition is fierce, right? Because the one thing Chat's with you guys, it's going to give you the mundane. I can promise you that. If you ask it a general question, it's going to give you rubbish. I always, if you're British, you would know there's a saying called "Don't tell me how to suck eggs," and that means is don't tell me something I know. And that's what Chatty's going to do, right? So you as the business owner have got to realize, you know, I've got to tell Chatty he's got to push it, he's got to push it, he's got to push it. So let's start with it. If you're finding competition quite fierce and you really need to delve into, right, the problems, let's go with that, the reasons travelers choose one car rental company over another.
Man, this is so interesting. I can't wait for the answer.
I know, it's fascinating. You're finding competition quite fierce. Give some details on this.
Okay, let's see.
I'm so excited. I'm holding my breath also.
Right. There we go.
Right. So now Chatty gives you a whole range of stuff, right? Now, I didn't tell Chat it must be this long or that long, and I haven't given Chats, I'm not calling him Chats now, thanks to Caroline. The poor thing is going to get confused. I haven't given him any more specific instructions. Another tip here, you start broad, and then you start delving down and delving down. So don't give Chatty 7 instructions in the first prompt, unless you're looking for something really, really specific. Okay. I can also, as it's going here now, this was a very, very simple prompt, Janet, but for the rest of you guys as well, come Chatty, hurry up. Is if you, I want to just show you over here. Are you done, Chatty? Done? Brilliant. If you've got, and I'm not going to take, but if you've got, here's an example of a chat that I did yesterday for a client in the fragrance industry. If you've got back end of your USPs, your mission, your vision, your values, right? The stuff that you've got in your marketing strategy. Put it in, because it gives Chatty context as to what you are, what you stand for. Because then what I'm going to tell Chatty to do is when it comes up with all these new ideas as to the things I need to work with, I go, well, Chatty, know now what you know about me and my company. How do you mix the two? You with me?
Yeah.
You understanding? Okay. So we're now going to read this and go, okay, well, we've got some ideas here. If I were the CEO, right, from Cape Town, understanding the reasons, let's break this down. Price and value for money, competitive pricing, they're looking for value, vehicle selection, customer service, convenience, accessibility, reputation and reviews, loyalty programs, payment options, yada, yada, yada. To really understand your customer preferences, consider conducting regular surveys. Thank you, chats. That's great.
So if I must say, knowing the brand, Janet, I'm not sure if you agree, but that, conducting regular surveys is something I've pulled out immediately as, whoa, that could be quite cool. So
that's definitely a call to action for us.
Yeah. So this is amazing. But tell me, Est, if I just wanted it to help me with writing, let's say, a social media post, could it be that simple?
100%.
So
you
you
can do this for hours.
Yeah.
Welcome. I'm going to show you now.
And this is free, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is on ChatGPT 4, but I don't quite know. But here's your survey, by the way. Okay. So Chat's going to write your survey. So now here comes the fun bit. Okay. So let's say we want to look at customer service. Right, that's something that they're looking for, a responsive, polite, and efficient customer service team. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. Now I'm going to go down here. And there's this little thing called templates. Remember now I said to you, you've got to install this little K. Right? So you're going to go into templates over here. And now you're going to go, okay, well, what do I want to develop? So I'm wanting to do something for social media. I am wanting to do, let's pick LinkedIn. It's my jam, right? I am now wanting to go, okay, well, what do I want to create? So we're going to do do you want a calendar or do you want a post? Right? So let's do a calendar for you. So we're now going, that's all fine. English, what is your tonality? So tell me, what is your company ethos like? Are you guys like fly by the seat of my pants type peeps? Are you a bit more professional? What is it that you guys, how do you talk to people? What is your value?
Definitely professional. Definitely professional. That's the messaging.
Okay. So now I want to show you this. Voice tones, writing style. Is it conversational, informative, professional? How do you guys talk when you do any social media?
I think informative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Informative, yes.
Now you're going to add in.
So Est, while you're doing that, I have a question, right?
Yeah.
So for a lot of us in the room here today, some of this might be a little bit too hectic. So you are going to give the giveaway. We've discussed that for Friday, where they're going to get a link to a document that's going to go step by step by step, right?
Yeah.
If I'm feeling lost, if this is too much for me right now to take in, how do I research this? Can I go onto YouTube, watch a couple of YouTube videos? Is that reliable enough? How did you learn this? Because you didn't go to school for this. How did you learn this?
No, I didn't. So the thing is, just FYI, here's your
it's incredible. There's your posts.
Here's your prompts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain that to you now as well, how you learn. The thing with anything, guys, is there's nothing. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Sure.
You're going to get yucky information type thing. What's the best that's going to happen? You're going to fall in love with this tool and get a calendar. Spark some new ideas for you. And go through it. There we go. I mean, weekly polls. How would you? Because this is not stuff that ordinarily I've seen happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is phenomenal for us.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the
it is,
ideas
Janet.
are always great. And then if you're getting ideas like this, and like for instance, I was saying earlier, I didn't have time in the week to write a digital audit proposal. So I went to Chatty. I said, please, I'm a good prompt always, guys, is you are the marketing expert. You are the marketing CEO. You've got to explain to Chatty that he's on the biggest level of honchos, right? So he's coming from a place of, I know my stuff, hold my beer, right? So that's always a good introduction. Then it's, what problem are you trying to solve, right? I'm attending an event. You are the marketing expert, and you need to, of XYZ company, and you need to promote an event to your current customers, okay? This is what the event is about. You need to really make sure that your messaging stands out so that you're not only attracting your current customers to come, but potential as well. What would you do? Ask it open-ended questions. Because if you'll see in the handout as well, if you say to it, give me XYZ, it'll just do this. Whereas if you ask it, what would your opinion be? How would you approach this? How would you expand on that? You get a plethora of more information. So now I've got these examples. Okay, so now let's go here. I want to just do the this one.
I love that it generates the hashtags. It makes life so easy.
Now, good point. Good point. Always double check.
Yeah.
So if you're going,
So Janet, what I tend to do, Janet, is every day I go into Google, onto a normal Google page, and I Google top trending hashtags, and I define the industries that I'm in. I actually have 1 or 2 programs I subscribe to, but you can do it free. And that then tells you in your search the top trending hashtags, and then you can just adjust it accordingly, because you want to be part of that conversation. So that's another tip for the guys in the audience. But thanks so much, Janet, for participating. We really appreciate it. But Caroline, we're coming to you now in the next few minutes, Est. So we're going to need to get you on a bit of steroids.
Stay here all day.
But I know, and it's so nice. But keep doing what you're doing, because it's interesting for visual, for the visual element. But Caroline, tell us now, so Esther's creating this amazing copy. She's creating almost like a guide. She's shown us how to get our social media posts put into place, all of that. But now this has gone out, and we now need to kind of capture our effort. We need to create some sort of report, right? What tool are you going to focus on in the next 10 minutes? What are you going to blow us away with?
I'm going to concentrate on Excel and show you how you can do your work a little bit smarter there. And I'll also hook onto chat just for a second or two, not in this much detail, just extremely basic.
Of course,
and by the way, I at the moment only use the free version, but I also use it every single day, the whole day. Just to put people at ease. The free version is, obviously, if you don't use the paid version, you won't know what you're missing. But for me at the moment, the free version is quite okay. Really quite okay. So I'll be looking at that, definitely. I would say, if I understood your question correctly, taking something like ST is now generating with chat's help, is to maybe, yes, copy and paste, of course, sort out the formatting when you paste. And then one can put it in Word. Word can play around with this. But I would say Canva or Microsoft Designer can do wonders for you, making like slide shares and so on. Yeah,
so maybe that could be for another session, for another day, is to actually just take us through Canva. But I think the most important thing is, and this is why I love having both of you in the room, because you're kind of both sides of the spectrum. Esther's all about creating the content, creating the vision, the game plan, and you're all about the reporting. What tools can we use that has artificial intelligence that can speed up my reporting process? And we're using marketing as an example, but I mean, the world is our oyster. Once you have an idea of how that program works, you can use it in any scenario. So for example, if you Tuli, who does, who represents Masseur Management, They do facilities management and their core business is plumbing. I mean, really, they're on site all day long. So they don't have a lot of time. So, but they want to create a report to see what is the impact that Est has done here, that has shown us. So Est, you're going to wrap up for us in the next few minutes. We'll take a couple of questions if there are any.
Yes.
If not, and then we shoot straight into Caroline.
Go for it. So yeah, so as you guys can see, right, I start with something and I just go, please make this better, or can you improve on this? Every time you say that to chat, this poor thing's going to get so confused with me. But every time I now say that to Chatty, what it does, it goes and checks its own stuff again. It goes, actually, I could have made this more concise. Or, you know what I'm saying? She's pushed those boundaries the whole time. Number 2 is, do not take what Chatty says is de facto right. Okay, so if Chatty is quoting you a number, please go and fact check the number. Okay, because also just understand that the information that comes from here, I think is from 2021, is the last type of information he works for. So some of it's going to be slightly outdated. So please just be mindful. Do not take anything for de facto. What's his name?
I think that's a great
thing about. Sorry, go for Brad.
No, I think that's a great point, Est. And a lot of the guys in the room are asking around, you know, can we use this for tenders? You know, we all are tender business. Some of us are tender-based businesses. That's a good question. I actually don't have the answer. Do you have the answer for that? Can we use 100%, this in tenders?
100% you can use it for tenders. You can use it for anything you can think of. You can use it for asking it, you are a travel itinerary expert and you are preparing a trip for high-level executives going to Rome. What should be included in the itinerary?
Yeah, because in the tender, you're going to get scope of work and you've got to answer that basically. So you can actually take that scope of work and use that as the prompt questions in here.
Yes. And I would definitely start with, don't always assume that you know what the problems are that your customers are facing. Number 1, ask Chatty, right?
Yeah.
Always then look at it from the flip side. So instead of going, what problems are people facing, Janet, for you? What problems are travelers facing with car rental companies? Flip it on a side. I am a traveler traveling often, okay? I am getting quite frustrated with car rental companies. Please expand as to what my frustrations are and what questions I should ask a car rental company before engaging with them. So then you get the questions that the people ask and you answer the questions.
Oh, man,
so the tender will be exactly the same. Flip it on its head from the customer's perspective. Make sure you're saying to Chatty, don't give me X stuff. You've got to give me a unique view here. You've got to make me stand out. You are the expert. You've got all the answers. And then just keep going, keep going, and keep going.
I love that. I mean, you know, so Sulaka, just remember, you know, Sulaka was the one that asked about the tenders, but there were quite a few. Just remember, guys, to please check the work that comes out of it, because if you don't, it's going to be a problem. You're going to get generic stuff. You might get stuff that's inaccurate. Remember, it's the intelligence, the artificial intelligence is only as good as the human being behind it. And I think that is something you need to remember. But I'd like to move over to Caroline. We've made really great time. If you guys do have questions, pop it on the group. If we do miss it, we apologize. Just keep asking and then we will get to you. But if anybody wants to ask a question, remember you can raise your hand and we will bring you on like we did with Janet, and you can ask a couple of questions. There's no dumb questions, guys. We are all here to help. I want to reiterate that all 3 of us in this room are successful business owners. We are small business owners. We've been doing this for a very long time. We have etched out amazing lives from being a small business owner. We are very proud of it. We are incredibly helpful, and we really want to just give back. So please, to get the best out of the session today, please ask questions. And you know, there goes Cynthia. Cynthia says, can you print the chat? That's such a cool question. I never thought of it.
So the chat will be in, when you get the recording, the chat will be in the recording, and it's a transcription.
In general, honey, in general. So like when I'm on ChatGPT.
Oh, this one. Oh, sorry. No, you can save it. You can't print it just yet. But what you can, sorry, I thought you were talking about Zoom chat. See, this is why I'm it saves everything, but what you do here, there's a little button over there that you just say copy, and then you just paste. Sorry, just on that quickly, Brad. And it's something you and I spoke about earlier. Guys, you've got to tell Chatty when he's good, and you've got to tell him when he's bad. Okay, so if something is particularly good, tell him, because then he knows the next time he does something for you, what style he needs to do it in. If you just take and copy and paste it, he doesn't know. Like a dog, train it what to do, tell it what to do, small little increments, and go good boy, bad boy, be better.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fantastic. Okay, great, guys. I think let's move on to Caroline. I want to leave Caroline with enough time. Caroline, we've got a lot of time, so please, I know your part of the session is quite tricky as well. Thanks, Est, but stay on, Est. We're going to ask you to connect and chat a little bit. So guys, we're going to take a few second break. Caroline, are you ready? Do you want to take a bit of a power break while Est and I chat? Or are you cool? Caroline, you cool?
Thank you. I'm cool, thank you. If there aren't any questions, then
there's loads of questions, but we're answering them as we go, and we need to get through this.
We can do the questions. There's no problem.
No, let's hit it. What are you showing us?
Okay, cool. Okay, guys. So, what I would like to show you today is how you can use the programs that you're already using. And I'll be concentrating on Word, not Word. Sorry. I'm talking about Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and the Microsoft products. And many of this can also be applied to your Apple products, your Keynote, and so on, numbers for spreadsheets, but it can also be applied to your Google Sheets and so on. So if we look at spreadsheets, it can go wherever you, whichever program you use, this can be used in. So let's see if we can use chats to give us some productive tools when we look at, let's say, figures. So what we have here, and this is going to change you looking at Excel, the way you look at it forever, absolutely forever. You know what it's like when you have to, for example, add something or whichever other formula you have to do, and you are not that good with Excel. Then you can now, I am so excited about this because my passion is training, and the old bad word I actually want to say, but it's a good intention. And I love to empower people. So people don't know how to use formulas in, for example, Excel, and find it quite intimidating. Now, first of all, when you don't need your calculator anymore, you can use, or when you use Excel, you don't need your calculator anymore. So that's one thing. But then the question is, now how do I then use Excel instead of my calculator? Because it's going to save me time. It's going to let me be more productive. And then my ultimate favorite is it's going to eliminate the human error. Because let's say, for example, you have provinces in column A. This is a spreadsheet, by the way, Excel. And you have in column B, the population, the number of citizens, oh my goodness, help me with the word, citizens. Sorry about that. Citizens,
I think.
Per province, right? Those are not correct figures. They are just some sucked. So what you would like to have in the end, and we're going to look at a super basic example. And from there onwards, you can do with this whatever you want. So you would like to get the total, right? But you don't know how to get the total. I know most probably everybody in this room already know how to get the total. So let me show you, just for interest's sake. You would, for example, select all the data involved. You would leave a space for the answer, although there are many other different ways of doing the same thing. I love this way. You will hit over to the Home tab and you'll click on AutoSum. Question is, what if you don't know that? I know it's a simple example. Then rest assured, you can go to chats and you can ask chat to do this for you. Now, what we have here Let me just head
No
over
way,
to
man.
the blank one. Can you
That
believe
is
that?
so cool.
Yeah,
That's
it
so
is.
cool, Caroline. How did you figure that out? I'm dying to know.
Oh my goodness, I
Trial and
can't
error.
remember. I can't remember. I can't remember.
I think
I'll
it's
think
just
about it.
hours and hours and hours, but yeah,
Yeah,
this is so
yeah.
cool. So
Anyway,
this is
I
another
just
way we
thought,
can use it.
I just thought maybe I can ask chat, always trying to find ways to make it faster, quicker, and more absorbent for people that they can don't
yeah.
feel intimidating. So if this can help, this can help. So I have data in column B in cells B2, because that's where a column in a row meets as a cell, B2 up to B10. So why don't I ask chats to write an Excel formula to add up values in cells B2 through to B10? So instead of me typing, because that takes hours, I've already prepared this for us. And here it is. Promise you, it was just there. I've put it in there. I clicked on the enter as Esty did. I mean, she showed you. Let me just get rid of this. Sorry, I just want to get rid of the faces on the right-hand side. So I would just type it, and there it is. To add the values in cells B22. Am I sharing?
Yeah.
Hate to ask the question always. I was just worried.
I do it often, don't worry. You normally tell me I'm not sharing.
So it says to you after you've typed that one single sentence. So it's not as involved as Esty's was, straightforward.
Well, that's Christmas.
But on your side, it's important. But in this case, really, is that the story? So it says that's what it's about. And now it even gives you the formula. Guys, you don't have to know this anymore. So you can copy the code, they call it, copy the formula. So I've copied it, as you can see. I hit back to my spreadsheet. I click where I want the answer, and I click on paste, whichever way you would like to.
Wow.
Okay, sorry, so not pasting it now, but yeah.
No, it's fine. Let's take a couple of steps back. So basically what she's showing us is how ChatGPT can improve our experience on Excel. So how it actually works with another program. So, and we don't have to, I mean, you are going to share your working documents with us. I've seen them. They're very detailed, guys, so don't stress about it. Step by step, that's what it is. Absolutely. But this is just another way that you can use ChatGPT to help you generate certain outcomes you're looking for on Excel without pulling your hair out and spending hours and hours watching YouTube videos. And isn't it weird? I don't know if you guys have ever picked this up, but when you watch a YouTube video and it gives you an example of the program you're working in, that program always looks different to yours. It's like you have a different version somehow. And then you're like, but mine doesn't have that stuff in the menu bar. And then you get all confused. So this is really amazing. Thanks so much, Caroline. What's next?
Okay, so we've done that, and we just press enter, and there it is. So if you have a look at your data, it always tells you what your cell content is about. But when you click on the answer, there is the formula that you would have done. Let's hit back to the previous sheet. There it is. It's the exact same answer which I had formula when I hit on AutoSum. So that's exactly the same. Now you can even go one step further, and Esty showed you this as well.
Yeah.
If you don't know how this formula works, I know it's a very simple one. You can even say, so I'm going to try not to type because that always takes a bit longer. Quickly copy this. Go back to chats, paste it, and yep, there you go. And it's going to show you and tell you, okay, now this is how we break it down. This is what you want to do. This is how it's going to work. That's how it follows. I love chats. Absolutely.
It's lekker, eh?
It's so lekker. It's lekker.
But I like how it works with other programs. You know, like Est was mentioning how you can use this. So, you know, to be very honest with you guys, I used this purely to write with. I didn't actually know it could do all of this. So this is a huge learning curve for me. But I think the beauty about this is it's just play. Just have fun,
Mhm.
play around in the beginning. It's going to take you a little bit longer, but it will save you time. And that takes me back to the point where I asked you guys the question, can you make money from this and can you save time? So Caroline, if I understand correctly, by being able to do these formulas will help give you the edge. It'll help you understand your business better. Am I correct? I mean, you must have so much experience with SMMEs coming for your training. When they walk away, they really know their business better, isn't it?
No, absolutely. You have to be able to analyze it. So seeing that today is also about sales, I've got some sales figures for my following example. And it's also not real figures, guys. Please don't stress. Brad, what actually, while I was doing that demonstration, it also came to mind, but I've been wondering about this for ages, and it's not only me, or not ages, months. It's not only me. I think Google was also a bit on edge with ChatGPT when people started using that. So being able to do the formula yourself, as a trainer, I could now say very easily, and I do, oh my goodness, are people still be able to or will want to come to me for training? Because they can ask chat how to do the sum formula, for example. Now, the question is, oh my goodness, yeah, it is something to think about. But you know what? There are so many functions and formulas that you can use in your business. And if chats can help my clients, anybody, to now just do the basics, then I can teach them so much more. And that makes me excited. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to, or it's ever necessary to really stress about, oh my goodness, am I now going to be out of a job, not doing training anymore? There are so many more things I want to show them. I mean, who wants to, even though I do not care, wants to keep on training people how to do sum and how to do average? Perfectly fine for me to do that. But there's so much more. I always want to show them so much more. And now that gave me the opportunity to do that. Or was giving
I
me
love
the
I love that testimony, because I think a lot of us fear that. And
yeah.
Deb's brought that up in the beginning about a lot of people believe that AI is going to take over our jobs or maybe make our businesses redundant. But it always boils back to, you've got to read the room. You've got to know your customer. You've got to keep an eye on the landscape. And that's what makes you a dynamic business owner. That separates you from the 80 in the room, opposed to the 20 that are going to make this a success. And I think Est, myself, and Caroline can testify to the fact that when we have kept our eye on the ball, we have watched for our customer, we understand our customer really well, and we operate from the perspective of the customer. Even if it's a tender, you could still do that. You will then be able to naturally adapt your business and use tools like this to give you the edge. You should never fear this. This should be something that is a natural progression. Caroline, what else have you got to show us? Because this is amazing. This is like blowing my mind.
All right. I'm going to move away from chats for the moment because I have a little secret to share with you guys. Those of you who've been using, for example, I'm not talking Excel only, but for example, Excel, there are some hidden gems in here that can save you time and can do things for you. In other words, making you not only work smarter, but also look smarter. So over here, I have a set of data coming from the Winelands. I had to bring in some wine examples. We have some wines, and I'll show you a bigger scenario in a moment with more data. We have liters sold, and we have the revenue. As I said, it's not real data, it's just thumbsuck. So I would like to analyze this. Now, first of all, maybe I don't even know how to analyze it. Maybe I know what I want, but maybe not. Or maybe my manager or my supervisor asked me, or my client for that matter, asked me for something specific, and I don't know how to do it. And secondly, it's going to take me most probably ages to figure it out, go to a training course to do this, and to do it. Even if you know how to do it, it can still take you a long time to do it. Now, there's a built-in AI function in Excel, which you most probably don't know about. I hope, because I want to show you today and I'm super excited about it. On the home tab, okay, this is my data, right? There's nothing finicky about this. This is straightforward data, whether you've typed it yourself or got it from a report somewhere, this is my data. So on the home tab, you'll notice on this ribbon, on the very, very far inside, there's a button called Super Button. It's not new, but it's fairly new if you want to call it that. By the way, sorry, I have to say, this is for the 365 version. That's the only one that has this analyzing data button on it.
Okay.
So when I hit this button, guys, be ready for this. If you're not familiar with this yet. Excel takes my data. I didn't even select the data. It takes all the data on this particular sheet and it hits me with a couple of analyzing data options. And here I can go. I don't even have to think. Here it has pivoted everything for me because we have some pennetage and pennetage again and another pennetage there. And it's been adding everything and the sum of the revenue. It even gave me the average of the liters sold. Maybe you want that, maybe not. And you can use it as is. You can also scroll down without me doing a thing. There's a graph, a pie, something. There is some scatter chart. There is a bar chart. And you can even ask for show me more results. And there it goes. There it goes.
That's
Mostly
incredible.
charts, and that's exactly what you want. And you can insert that. Now, let me show you that. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I have to show you that.
Okay, so Sunshine, just for some of us that are a little bit slow with Excel, being me, just take us back a couple of steps. So I had my data set up on Excel like I usually do.
Absolutely.
You know, it's usually the item and the amount, right? I had my columns.
Yes.
Then I clicked Analyze Data, and then
on the home tab, though. On the home tab.
On the home tab. Okay, that's what I missed. So can you take us through those steps again, Pi? Just in case some guys on here
sure. No, sure.
that are feeling a little overwhelmed.
Don't even, this is your set of data. You have a couple of bottles of or liters of pennetage, carbonation, and so on. And you don't even have to click on the data because Excel will know, and that's where the artificial intelligence comes in. It is freaking intelligent. I was actually wondering the other day whether chat is a guy or a girl. And
that's a good question.
Yeah. He's a guy because sometimes he just does not listen.
Well, that's one part of it, but chat is also extremely intelligent, you know, and
yeah, that is definitely a guy thing, I think.
Yeah, that I think is a girl thing. Any case, built into Excel is this phenomenon artificial intelligence tool. You don't even have to go look for it outside. So you go to the home tab, you click on analyze, and there you have it. Honestly, that's all I did. So it was 1, 2 clicks. There it is. But apart from scrolling down to what it already analyzed on your behalf, you can click over here. So if your client asks you for a certain output or your manager, you can take that question, show us this. Let's, for example, say, show us, there are some suggestions even. And you can ask chats, what can you ask with this data? It will even tell you, but I mean, you can do it here. So let's say you want to have the percentage of the total revenue for each wine. Instead of me typing it, I can just click on one of the suggested questions and they will have it. There you have it. And you can insert this into your spreadsheet. Now, just to show you for 1 second, this is only a little bit of data that I wanted to start off with. Now let's look at some more data. Now what we have here is exactly the same with a couple of extra columns. The wine farm that provides us with the wine, in other words, a supplier, the date, the revenue, even the cost as a column. So when I scroll down, you'll notice it just goes down and down and down and down and down. Can Excel do this? Of course. If I go to analyze data, it takes all the data, it selects it by itself without me asking, and it even pivots it again. It calculates it. It gives me the totals here, the cost. Oh, cost by wine and wine farm. So
Wow,
how,
that's incredible.
yeah, no, that is really amazing. And there you go down.
It's
Next,
incredible.
yeah, no, it is incredible. The next one, just to hit back to chats again. If I have this wine farm or estate for that matter, they won't like it, me calling them a wine farm, it's an estate. The wine, the date, the revenue, and the cost, we can add another column for the profit. Now, in case you're not that familiar with what they mean, revenue is where you make money, the money that you make, the actual sale. So if you sell these 3 bottles of wine and they're 100 Rand each, it's 3 bottles, I said, nay. It's 300 Rand, that's your revenue, that's what you have. But obviously you had to go buy the wine from the wine estate in order to sell it. So that's going to be your cost, which needs to be deducted to determine what your profit is. So what formula do I use? I know for some of you, it's like so straightforward. You can even use your calculator, but please don't, because you can make a mistake like I always do with typing in the numbers on a calculator. I don't even have one anymore. So can we ask chats to write us a formula to calculate the profit? Yes, we can. Instead of me copying and pasting this to save time, promise you, I didn't do anything else. I already prepared it here. Write an Excel formula to calculate the profit, okay? The revenue is in cell F2 and the cost is in cell G2. Show you again. F2, because we always deal with the first line first, and then we can copy it down. It's in F2 and it's in G2, and I want the answer there. Can chats do that for me? There you go. There you go. After I've typed it, I press this little send button as you do on your WhatsApps. And it even tells you a little bit more about that. So we copy the code. I hope it's going to copy properly this time. It says copied, but okay, let's see.
Let's try it.
And I'm going to paste it there. There you go. And now you can check it. I don't know why I changed the font. And then, of course, I don't know if you know this, but if you grab your little full handle or copy at the bottom right-hand side of H2, where your answer is, or your formula that you've copied, pasted, you can double click and it will fill it down till row. I don't even know where it ends. It's
where
just
it ends. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
If I have time a little bit later, maybe to fill some gaps, I can always show you this particular scenario, how to take it over to PowerPoint. But if I can show you one more thing, let's say I want to take this data, some of the data, our previous smaller data scenario. Once again, the wines, the liters sold, and the revenue. Can I create a chart or a graph? Now, people are often scared of this. I've seen this so many times. Which one do I choose? Which chart or graph? And I mean, okay, this looks like a bar chart. It's bar, eh? Yeah, column, bar. But how do I get that line in that trend? So once again, good news for you guys. Let me get rid of this one here. So
I love how you get so excited about this, Caroline. It's so amazing for me. It's like,
this is where I always get stumped, because it's like insert chart, and then I'm like, huh?
Exactly.
Which I'm not, it's not doing the fancy stuff I see in other people's presentations.
I do as well, Esty, and you know what? You're a marketing expert. I mean, you're brilliant at that. You're not necessarily a salesperson, a figures person.
No.
I mean, my maths at school was not up to scratch always. But with Excel, I can look like a freaking pro. I mean, look at the chats part that also now comes in. But let's once again look at a built-in Excel. It's already there, guys. You don't have to do anything. Okay. Let's get over to the Insert tab this time, not the Home tab. And here you have all your graphs and charts, and there are many. So now question is, do I use a pie? Do I use a this? Do I use a that? I don't even understand properly. Ask chats. What is a pie chart? Yes, you can do that with Google also, I suppose, but chats, you can ask again and talk again, and it's amazing, the conversation you can get going. But look at this, also not new, but maybe fairly new, recommended charts. It's like analyzing the data. Even though we had charts in the analysis part, which I showed you, now this concentrates on charts only. And look at this. There are so many options you can choose from.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's a bit small for you, but it even tells you here at the bottom what this particular chart will and can do for you, and why you might choose this chart. Oh, there's my example. So
There
if
we
I
go.
now click on OK, it puts it in, and Bob's your uncle. All done. Absolutely all done, and you can fiddle around with
So,
that.
Caroline,
Yes.
thank you. Sorry, man, to cut you short there. But some of the feedback I'm getting on the group is that, obviously there will be a recording. We will do handouts. We telling everyone on the chat, but some of us finding this a little bit overwhelming. When I get stuck, what do I do? Do I go to ChatGPT or whatever platform I've chosen and ask my way out of it? What is your go-to? We all have different go-to, and this is what I want to reiterate for the guys in the session here, that we all have different ways of solving problems, guys. Please remember that. Esther's a specific way, drinks a lot of wine, goes very fast at things, pets the dogs, tiles kitchens and bathrooms, and then solves the problem. But, for you, Caroline, how do you solve when you're not sure what to do next? If you can't remember.
Obviously, I don't even know anything, and I'm also learning every single day. I make use of the help function, but it's not that straightforward if you even still don't know what to do. I mean, chats is now making up a whole new world for us. And then also I like visiting the Microsoft website. They have lots of training videos there, and even examples. And there's a couple of YouTube guys that I follow, but be careful, because some of them really teach you you can never be taught the wrong way, but the longer way and the involved way. And also please be aware to check the date on the YouTube video, because of all the new features and AI exploded, you would rather check a YouTube video of the last couple of months and not 2 years ago. You can go check it out, because I do, and they use methods like with Ossevar stuff, honestly. Okay,
no, I get that. And
be aware of that.
And for you, Est, what is your process when you get
stuck? Actually, I've got a question for Caroline now. So, because I do a lot of client reporting.
Yes.
And Caroline knows I'm a data nerd. What's the saying? In God we trust, for everything else bring the data. So I have, and if I look at, I make decisions on what content I should be putting out more, and what type of content, and whether it's text or, video or whatever the case is, based on data. Okay, so I don't guess, right? So when I fill my little spreadsheets in, it then does all kinds of beautiful calculations and things that many a time I then have to have someone else do, because I can't figure out how to work out increased percentages. Doesn't matter how many times I've tried it.
You can ask chats now.
Exactly. So now I can ask chats, but then can I then ask chats to go, okay, well, this is the data I've got. I've got averages, I've got increases, I've got baseline, or however, what type of graph would be most appropriate to use? Would that work?
I haven't tried that specifically.
That's interesting.
See, I did give it some. I did give it some of my column headings before and see what it does. But it's I'm pretty sure one can do that. I have absolutely no doubt. Maybe time doesn't allow us to check it out and type it all out, but the thing is with chats is there anything that you can't ask? We always had the same saying for Google. Google knows everything, and now chats can show and teach us anything. So there's no doubt in my mind. I haven't tried that particular before. No doubt in my mind that you were able to do it. I can always test it out and put an example in the handout.
Please.
Yeah.
That always
Yeah.
stumps the boopies out of me is I want sexy, awesome graphs and I can't figure out how to do the one thing, the other thing and the up and yeah.
But that can already help you. And I think the analyze data button is going to be your new friend in Excel. Yeah,
Absolutely,
asking the
absolutely.
questions there. Okay.
So ladies, you know, just to take a couple of steps back and have a look at holistically what we've discussed today. I know we focused Excel and ChatGPT, but there are other platforms out there. There's a whole world of AI platforms, and more are coming on board. And you know, we're reading more about it. And I think what is really nice, and I'm sure the guys in this session will, you know, guys, you know, tell us, you know, those of you listening in, tell us your experience today. Did you enjoy the session, or are you still enjoying it? You know, we do have a bit of time left where we're going to be fielding questions and having a conversation around AI as a tool. But the one thing I always want to kind of string it back to is, as a small business situated in Cape Town, for example, you know, an AI tool is a way to save you time, which inadvertently will save you money, right? That's what we're saying. But the fear, I want to talk a little bit around the fear before we finish off with Caroline, which we will do shortly. I want to talk around how do we get over that fear of engaging with AI. What do you think, ladies?
In my mind,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It's a discussion point. It's, you know, often I sit with small businesses myself, and when I do my mentoring programs, etc., and I always see this like inherent fear in their eyes when you're going through something. You know, how do we reassure the attendees today that if us three nanas can do it, they can do it?
in my mind, it's always like, well, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's what's the worst that's going to happen. I've just actually asked Chatty, and I said, I'm new to AI. Instead of using ChatGPT, what would you suggest I do? And it's telling me what to do. Because it's also just an important point that someone was asking about code and stuff earlier in the chat, guys. Understand, if you've put something in chat, it is then open to the entire world. Okay, so if you've got proprietary information, or you are wanting to write something that's unique to your organization, if you put it onto chat, that's it. He will use it for other people. Okay, so be very, very mindful as to what you are putting out there. But you know, if I look at Chatty, it says understanding play a little bit. One of the prompts here says, ask me what I should ask, what you should ask me. So I normally, if I'm not sure about something, I just sort of go and go, okay, well, tell me the best way to engage with you. I'm new to this. And then chat will tell you. The majority of the other AI tools will as well. The thing that I also said was, people always ask, well, it's like social media channel. Should I be on LinkedIn? Should I be on Facebook? Now there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's now X, and I don't know what else is coming out the universe. Where do I need to be? And the thing is always just start small. Get comfortable, master it, then you can move on a bit more. Don't now look at the core of AI tools out there and go, I've got to adopt everything.
So I'm a huge advocate. Yeah, I'm a huge advocate around, you know, especially social media platform guys. Don't open all the channels and think it's going to impress people that you are on 6 different social media platforms. And then you only look after it once a year or once a month. That is the quickest way to destroy your brand. Pick one social media channel that your customer is on, not you, that your customer is expecting to engage with you on. So, Caroline, are we done? Is there anything else that you're going to show us before we go into our discussion?
There's a lot more, but sorry, Brad. I just want to attend to one of the chats that I only had time to read now from Johan. Thank you, Johan, for reminding me to mention this. There's a fairly brand new Office not an add-in, but an add-on, and it's called Copilot to the Office 365 family. And Copilot, it is a bit pricey, that I have to warn you, but it's you can use it with, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'll be doing some posts on LinkedIn for the next couple of weeks about Copilot. And that's something that you definitely also can consider. Absolutely. Thank you, Johan, for mentioning that.
Thanks, Caroline. Okay, so let's hit it. What's next? What are you going to blow us away with now?
Okay, I just want to show you how intelligent Excel is. I mean, we all know that, but lately it's just really amazing, even more so. And it betters itself every single freaking day. You can count on that. So, for example, once again, if you want to do some calculations of whichever sort, you don't need to know how to do it apart from figuring it out or asking chat. You can now I mean, it's been around for a long time, but you know what? We don't read, we don't look. We have such a deadline what is the proper English? We have deadlines, let me put it that way. So we don't have time to play around, look around, see what it is. I mean, I do that because I want to learn and see how I can learn anybody else. But if you, for example, just select all these amounts of, not amount, figures, the liters sold, you'll notice on your
ribbon, isn't it?
No. I just want to get rid of this. Now on the status bar, sorry, as SD, there's just a message there that's in my way, and I don't know how to get rid of that now. But if you select data, even if you only select those, on your status bar at the bottom here, below your sheets, it tells you without you doing anything, that's the average of what you've selected. That's the count. You have 5 items or 5 rows selected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It says 5, but it's actually 6. How in the world is that?
No, it is 5. It's you went from 2 to 6.
Oh, okay, cool. Then there's also that other stuff is in my way now, but in any case, it even sums it for you. So this is just a temporary look without you doing anything, without you knowing anything. Just select. That's all you do. And it counts it for you. It gives you the average, and there's some more, but there's a little message in the way now that I will try and get rid of at a later stage. Okay, so you want me to show you something in PowerPoint now, or I have some more to show in Excel, but
you know what I want to do? I want to throw the two of you in the deep end, and I want to throw up a business that posted on the chat and asked a question, and I want to do an on-site kind of just what would we do. So the one chat was, if I can find it, it was asking about their business system, but there is a attendee here today that has 2 super quick stores within Western Cape, right? You know, super quick tires. Now, for ChatGPT, I think it would be really useful from a sales and marketing perspective to use it to help create a really accurate sales strategy, because when it gets to a franchise, it's very difficult because you also have the marketing the franchise gives you, right? So Est, how would you, if that was your client, how would you go about creating a social media campaign for them using AI? What would be your steps?
Right, let's go.
Are we going to do it live?
Absolutely, buddy. We always do things live.
Ach nee, lekker man.
Right, so remember what I started off with? I am the CEO, I am the expert, I am the head honcho, right? That sells super quick is a, what do we call it? Franchise.
Yeah.
So I only get limited, unique marketing and sales.
So while we're typing that out, Caroline, Laura said, yes, please show us PowerPoint. Honey, sorry, but you're in for PowerPoint, but we're kind of running out of time.
Yeah,
but I would
no, I'm going to do this so long, and Caroline, you show PowerPoint, and then I can take you through.
Caroline, let's do PowerPoint, honey bunny. Blow us away.
Am I on now, or is he? Are
Yeah.
you going to
Go
show
first.
him?
You're up.
No.
I'm going to do this in the background.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, cool. Here I go. I'm sharing my screen. It's very briefly, I want to show you, if you, let's say you have to prepare a set of slides. Now, there are the most amazing AI tools available outside of PowerPoint, once again, and you can ask chat and it can give you an outline, absolutely. But built into PowerPoint is a tool that is called Designer. So what I want to ask you is, let's say you have these 5 slides, the promising future of wine in sales in South Africa, which is of course your title slide, then your data set that you're going to talk about, the revenue, the cost, and so on, your customer feedback, whether they find it expensive or the availability a problem. There are new wines that's going to be released. Let's say that's one of your topics. And then, of course, a paragraph where you talk about the future. Now, if I can start with the 5th slide, this is definitely not how you, it's too much data for one slide. Definitely too much data. I'm very much about bulleted points, not only bulleted per se, but short and sweet keywords on your slide so that people can just grasp what you're going to talk about and then you talk around that. Yeah. So if you just throw them with a slideshow like this, obviously that goes without saying, will be extremely boring. How about rather having something like this? I'm not saying this is perfect. I'm not saying this is brilliant. I'm not saying this is the best, but I do say that it's far better than this one. So how do I do this? Do you have to attend a course? Do you have to spend 7 hours doing this? The answer to the question is absolutely not. Let's ask, not chat this time, Chatty. We're going to ask Chatty a question in a moment. But now I'm on Chatty.
Yeah.
But let's use the built-in version as we did in Excel. That's already there. Maybe you've missed it somehow. So if I go back to my slideshow, my slides, my blank slides, my boring slides, and I have it here on the left-hand side, of course, I can expand my ribbon. I can go to the Home tab once again, pretty much at the very same spot. You have Designer. And look at this. This will suggest some designs and ideas already for you without you doing a thing or knowing how to do it. Some of them have pictures in some of them have videos, some of them have as animation already and a transition, all those things that you maybe don't know how it works at this point in time. So let's just choose anyone. I mean, really, for now, it doesn't really matter. Let's choose this one. There you go. Already far better than the one that we had on this blank slide or blank background slide.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So these are absolutely, you're hitting it there. It's pretty much like templates. That's about what it is, but it's helping you with the design. Then let's go to this slide. So this one, look at the right-hand side, it's giving us some ideas already. And if you close your designer and you open it again, it will give you slide layouts and designs that is going to be in line with your very first slide. So for example, you can choose this option, and it even gives you these little icons built into Excel already. So that's one way of doing it. You can have this set of slides, and there are more designs that you can choose. So you have so many options. Just be aware of the fact, I mean, capital letters is obviously not advisable, the way they're reading, or, you know, the shouting part that we're all aware of. I'm very aware of that in PowerPoint, and that's what I train as well. use keywords, don't use a lot of text, please don't, because then people start reading it and they don't listen to
Yeah,
you.
it's the worst.
Okay, now
It's the worst.
you can use this set, but obviously that's not necessarily going to be the same as this one, and you want the consistency as well, because that builds trust, and that's what people also need to have in their presentations. All right, so now
Yeah,
I've messed it up
super
completely.
interesting.
Yeah, no,
this is
that
so
is.
interesting.
Oh, sorry, I've hit the wrong button trying to.
It's okay. I think you know what I want to do is, I know we were waiting on that example from Est. So Est, maybe when you're ready. Okay, there we go. So can we jump back to Est, and just Est, can you show us a little bit about the solution?
You're welcome to jump back to me, because I have some 2 or 3 very interesting ones here to share again, but let's go to Esty. Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to keep these audience on their toes. I don't want the guys going off.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you.
Making tea, making coffee. I want Anastasia, Anika, and all of these oaks to pay.
Don't want you to forget about me, because I'm excited about this.
No,
Yeah,
I'm honest.
Don't think you'll get 2 people that are more excited about doing stuff than me and Caroline. Okay, so I've prompted Chatty. I told him I'm the CEO. I gave him a little bit of a background in terms of the industry, that it's very commoditized. I need to differentiate myself from not only other tire companies, but also other super quick franchises, because I would assume that's an issue. So it was a very high level prompt. But you can start adding in, the more you can give Chatty, remember, the better it's going to be. Okay. If you can say to it, these are the current challenges I'm facing as a business owner, as a super quick business owner, that can also help, right? So I then ask it to structure a sales plan, which it then does. Here's the structure of your sales plan, done for you. I then go, okay, thank you very much. How would I now create a dynamic sales plan looking at the structure? So now it tells me what to go do, right? It says to me, go visit your competitors physically, analyze their online presence, gather customer reviews. So it gives you a to-do list under every single one of the headlines in the structured plan, so you can build a robust sales plan. Okay, it goes, right, gives you promotional offers. I then say to it, well, what marketing plan do I now need to build to stand out in this industry? And remember, it's commoditized. My margins are small. I really need to stand out and differentiate my plan based on the reasons a consumer would choose my tire store compared to someone else's franchise. So I'm telling it, look at my sales structure that you've done. You know it's commoditized. You know I have to differentiate. Now give me a marketing plan, but base it on my sales plan and the challenges that my consumers are facing, right? It then goes into target audience segmentation, boom, 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 takes the whole line down to the nth degree. I can now go, okay, well, thank you, this is great, it's very high level, expand, and it will give me more information under each of these. So instead of just saying to, I don't know, ensure your store appears in local searches, I can say to it, how do I ensure my store appears in local searches? And it will tell you how to do that. Okay, so everything Chatty gives you, you can pull out, expand. You can even say to it now, when it comes up with blogs and stuff, you can tell it, write me the blog.
That's incredible.
It is. It's really, it is incredible. So it is.
And the important thing here is you don't have to do all of this. You're not obligated. Just because it's spattered out doesn't mean you have to pay attention. You can edit and take what you want from you.
Yeah. So I will in the chats just pop this link to the actual chat, because then you can just go see the chat.
Yeah, we've got one of the participants is the owner, so we would just want to give them a little bit of a boost. But guys, we're heading to 20 minutes left before we close and we bring Lance on from the city of Cape Town. Caroline, can you show us those little golden nuggets that you want to show us quick? And yeah, then leave us a little bit of time to throw you guys back in the deep end. I've got something else I want to ask. And you're on mute, Honeyman.
Thank you so much.
No, it's all good.
reminding me about that. Okay, I mean, designer, you can do it yourselves, but I just want to show you. Let's, for example, say, okay, I'm going to skip that slide. New wines to be released. So what we would love to see here is a timeline. Okay, so with designer, you can just click and there it is. A lovely timeline instead of the boring bulleted points that how, when and how and the wine is going to be released. And you have obviously have a couple of different layouts that you can choose from. For example, that one. Just be aware that the font you need to increase for everybody to be able to see. And then last but not least, on the PowerPoint part, as I said, please do not have a slide like this. What you can do is you can take this paragraph over to chats, for example, and you can ask chat, and I've prepared it again to save some time. I just copied this paragraph as it was on the slide, exactly as it is there, and summarize this paragraph in 4 bullet points, and there it is. A bit long still for me, but okay, we can now ask it to shorten it. I did ask it, but it didn't get it from me. I copy this, as Essie said, over there. I take it to my PowerPoint, and let me show you the result. On the results page here, look at that. How much better does that look than that boring paragraph that everybody's going to start reading while you're presenting? And now it's still a bit too many words to my taste, but yeah, and it has some icons and so on. That's all I wanted to say for now.
Thank you very much.
Brad, yeah.
Thanks, Caroline. Thank you so much, guys. So one of the nice things is we've had a lot of engagement today and a lot of advice from our fellow listeners. And I love that because there is no set science to do this. Everybody has their own way of approaching. And this is where the human element comes in. It's the ability to problem solve. You need to know what the problem you have so that you can guide these tools. These tools are not going to pretty much hold your hand. So Johan was saying in the chat section that if your business needs access to the latest information, rather use Bard, an AI tool, and he's given the address versus ChatGPT. And he gives his opinion on why, and he's also popped his email address there for you guys to reach out to him if you have any questions. And there is always this debate, it's like between are you an Apple user or, are you not? And I guess it's just your preference. But the key is the functionality, the way you approach these programs we showed you guys today is similar to how you would approach others. It's about making sure you're prompting the right thing to get the expectation, to get the results that you need. Like Caroline showed us, how to be able to get analytic information out of a basic spreadsheet. Very quick, very easy. We got S showing us how to generate strategies, how to generate campaigns, etc., etc. So these guys give advice. It's not about who knows more. It's actually about a collaborative. And that's what we really, really love. And that's why our presentations are usually quite different. We don't just sit you guys down and go through a PowerPoint presentation. It's very interactive. It's very engaging. And again, I want to stress that all three of us are small business owners. We are successful in what we do, and we use these tools to push our success to the next level. But I've got 15 minutes left. And for me, the question I want to keep going back to is time and money. That's what I want us to go, because we're all sitting in this room today as small business owners, knowing the pressure of running a small business. I mean, debit orders bouncing, not making cash flow, friends inviting you out at the end of the month when they get paid and you have like R5 in your account, and having to tell your friends, I don't have the money to go out. So we've all been there. We all understand it. Est,
Yo.
Tell us a little bit about your struggle journey and how AI has helped you overcome, because it is a mental thing, right? I mean, some days you show up and you're like, I just can't face the world. And I feel like AI is not emotional, and it helps pull that away. It helps me get serious about my business. Do you feel the same?
What it does do for me is it pulls me up when I'm stuck.
And frustrated.
Yeah, and I can't see the wood from the trees, or I'm not sure, but I've got to come up with an angle here or something, or I've run out of ideas, or, I've got a lighting client, and there's only so much I can say about lights. Do you know what I mean? So it's, it makes me feel a lot more competent when I get stuck in a position where I'm going, how now, brown cow? Because everyone has days, even though we are proposed experts in our fields, there are days where we get up and we go, oh,
yeah. And like one of the participants owns a piggery, and I'm thinking to myself, I feel for this person because they're probably really brilliant at raising their livestock, but probably have to now go home after having a full day out there, and now have to either generate a report or generate social media posts. And they're like, no, this is too much, I just can't. So, how, Caroline, for you, your struggle journey in AI, has it helped? You're on mute, hey, Pi?
No,
It's okay.
absolutely. It helped me a lot, especially, and I would really encourage people to make use of templates regarding reports and things like that. And there are zillions of templates built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all of those. There's nothing wrong with it because you're still going to bring in your own personal touch to it. But at least it will get you going. The templates there, the designer, for example, there are the similar excellent, brilliant stuff in Word and in Outlook. It's absolutely amazing. I wish I had the time to show you.
And it's like simple tools that are always in front of us. So it's
available. I mean, you don't have to go out and buy it. You can just use it. And as Johan also said, with the Copilot now being incorporated, Microsoft is just going to blow up. It is just amazing how it works. Yeah.
I love how you get excited about it, honey.
I am honestly very.
It makes me feel like, even though I'm a little bit off with Microsoft, that I can actually do this. Yeah. And then I think that encourages me, because I think the biggest thing for us is sometimes English is not our first language. And, when we do hit social media, we don't want to look like bananas, but, bananas and pajamas. But the thing is, at the end of the day, these tools can help elevate our brand, can help give us the edge, but we need to keep that locals lack of flavor, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is quite important.
Absolutely. Brad, what I want to say, and Esty will know this, that English is not my second language, my first language, it's my second language. And I really honestly struggle putting things out there in a proper written English, whatever it is. I mean, for example, my manuals are in English, but those are like one sentence stuff. So when I have to do proposals, when I have to do testimonials, when I have to do any type of thing, it's really to me like, oh my goodness me, is my English writing gonna be good enough? And I'm not talking, I'm seriously now, this is a major problem for me. And since ChatGPT and many other tools.
You've got on mute again. You're getting so excited, you're muting yourself.
It's all good. It happens.
Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have said all I had. Maybe that was a good one. No, and I just want to say, for me personally, English is my second language, and I am not good, and Esty will know this, or I don't have the confidence, let me rather put it this way, in writing English stuff. So now it's all about LinkedIn posts. It's all about answering an email that's not just one or two sentences. It's all about writing reports or giving feedback, and I can go on and on and on and on and on. For me personally, ChatGPT and of course similar tools, I don't know how to put it. Sorry, but I honestly want to cry. It made up a world of difference for me. Now if someone asks me something, I'll just do it. I can easily do it with want to say the confidence. So what I do is I still write it in my own words, but without me asking a friend, which I have a friend, a university translator, she's brilliant in languages. I often ask her, oh, can you please just check this for me? I don't want to sound like a whoever. Now I ask chats, and I'm honestly, up to this day, every single time I ask chat, how can I better this wording, for example? I'm like, no, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. So in my business, it makes a lot of
and it's your confidence. I mean, I'm just listening to you, and I'm seeing that you have this frustration as a business owner where English is not your first language, and you have to communicate on a certain level. And maybe your education is also, you feel your education sometimes is not up to standard either. These tools can really give you that confidence. Is that what you're saying to us? Is that what you're telling?
Absolutely saying this. I mean, it's one thing talking in English, speaking in English, but it's another thing writing it. Writing a WhatsApp to a friend is one thing, but to do a proper English writing report or even a proper email, ChatGPT is my friend. That's why ChatGPT has been my friend for the last couple of months. I love it. And as you can see, Esty and myself love it for two different reasons.
I see that. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. So guys, we have 10 minutes left, and we're then going to be joined by Lance. If Lance can come on so long, it'll be really nice to have a little bit of engagement. Lance is from the city, and he's going to be doing a nice closing from us. So when Lance is ready, he can join us. But in the last 10 minutes, I know this is really, really strange, guys, but I want to talk about something we don't talk about as small business owners, and the emotional impact and how AI tools, and we slightly spoke about it a few minutes earlier, but I want to go over it again. I think we don't understand the pressure we're under as small business owners. I think we underestimate the immense amount of challenges we have as small business owners, particularly in this country. And I do believe the fact that AI is an emotionless base, and a base with no emotion, it does help us stabilize. Because when we do use other tools or we use other people, that's emotion, communicating with emotion. So I really do believe that AI is not something we should be scared of, but rather something we need to embrace in order for us to be able to cope better with the challenges that we face. So Est, when you get a client, you have a lot of key clients, and guys, I'd like to mention, tell us a little bit about your award, Est, that you're winning on Saturday.
Thank you. I always get embarrassed about these things. So it's I've won a Woman of Wonder award, and it's about successful entrepreneurship and uplifting community and mentorship and being successful at business. So very honored that number one I got nominated, which I didn't know I was, and number two that I am winning. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So tell us a little bit about, when you get a new client and you see that this client's coming to you as a small business owner that's hyper emotional, that is invested in their business. How do you use AI tools to move forward with that client? What advice do you give that client to be able to market their business a bit better?
So, I mean, I can actually use an example for a client I just signed up in the week. Bizarrely enough, using a proposal that I used on chat. So the thing is, I think as business owners, and I mean, I think the three of us also face it, is we feel like we've got to do everything, right? And it gets very, very overwhelming. And the more we feel like we've got to do everything, the less we do. So in my mind, it's always about understand your numbers, know where you're coming from, what your base is, understand where you have to go, and then see, right, so what can I put in place, like from a tool perspective, that's going to take admin stuff out of my way? How can I come up with XYZ in terms of social media ideas? How do I know how to write to do the basics? But also understand, guys, business is not about a pretty logo and a smancy website and whatever the case is. It's, do I understand the challenges my customers are facing? And am I answering those? That's it. So don't get also stuck in the vanity stuff. You know what I mean? Some of us can really, really get stuck on the color of the little swirly of our logo.
Yes.
Doesn't really matter. It really just doesn't really matter. It's, even when we look at presentations and things, it's the reason Caroline shows you that is because that's going to make you stand out from other competitors. It makes you look more professional. That's not vanity, if you know what I mean. So it's just breathe. Let's take one thing at a time. Then we figure out where we're going to go. We put a plan in place and we tick off things one by one. That's normally my approach.
And I think that it's, I know this session is a AI session, and I think we've covered a lot of information today. It's been overwhelming. We've had a great audience. We've had a great a group of guys coming in and out of the room. The copy of the presentation with some tips, etc., will be sent through tomorrow. That's going to help everyone. But for the last couple of minutes, and while we wait for Lance to join us, I like to talk about the human element, because everybody in this room, this whole 126 of us in this room right now, we actually all share something. We share the struggle, but we don't tend to talk about it. And Caroline touched on it a little bit about how excited that she is that, being English a second language, she has now these AI tools that can help her build confidence and actually get excited. And I love that. I really do, because that's probably the only thing we really have in our business, is that love and that passion and that excitement. And I think for me, it's about, and that's why I love working with the two of you, because I feel like you guys always have that. But my question is like, how do you always have it? Do you guys actually wake up and have crappy days? Does it happen? And what motivates you? I mean, you're successful. Like, we did it. We made it. You know, we were part of that 20% that made it. What is the secret?
Well, Karini, you can, go for it. Then I'll give you my opinion.
I think the secret is just honestly to keep going. And I also find when it's a crappy day, have a crappy day, honestly. Whatever I couldn't do today, I mean, that took me millions of years to learn and to get used to, because I feel I have to work every day, the whole day, all day long, and then I'll be successful, or then I've done my work. But if it's a crappy day, have a crappy day. Whatever you can't do today, I promise you tomorrow, that works for me. I can do that and yesterday's stuff as well. So acknowledge that. Just don't have a crappy day all week long. And then start with something that really interests you, or is the most passionate thing that you love to do, and do that. And then share with others and let others encourage you as well. I mean, you have to be surrounded by people who can support you, whether you pay them or whether you don't. And I'm not talking friends only. Maybe that's not always a good idea. I know Esty has an amazing network, international network, and I'm sure that contributes to everything that she does. And surround yourself by people that can really help you and love what you do. So if you want to start a business or thinking about starting a business, you don't always have a choice in general to see, okay, cool, that's the business I'm going to do, and that's not necessarily going to work. But to stay loving it, you have to start loving it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So Anastasia was saying, I allowed myself to have a crappy day yesterday. I'm determined to learn from my colleagues on AI. I love how she calls us colleagues, because that's something I really want to push, is that we're all in it together. So guys, the next time you see a small business owner around, whether that person's fixing your toilet or whether that person's, serving your coffee in their small little cafe, respect the fact that we're all brothers and sisters. We're all in the same boat. We all face the same challenges, no matter where we're from, and also from the scale of our business. Don't think, I was telling my kids all this time, don't think Elon Musk doesn't have his troubles. Guys, it's not all wonders. Yeah, we all have to use the loo. We all have to do certain
Yeah.
things. Yeah. But my grandparents, who were incredibly successful business owners, my grandpa always used to say, the one thing you need to do to make your business a success is make your bed. Because that means you're getting out of bed. And that I'm going to leave you guys there. And I'm going to introduce Andile. He's going to be doing the closing for us. Andile, can you come on screen so we can see you and chat to you a little bit? Hey, brother, you're on mute as well. So the mute thing's good.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Hi, Brett,
Hey, big
and
guy, how are
hi,
you?
good morning, everyone. I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
Hey, man, good, good, good. And what did you think? Good session.
Very much so. So I joined in at the earlier start, and then I left because of other commitments. And then I was back again when I think it was Caroline, when she was doing the Excel, showing people how the calculations are going on.
Yeah.
I must say I thoroughly enjoyed the session. Thank you much.
Awesome, Bud. So thank you very much for the opportunity from the three of us. We are going to hand over. It's officially 10:30. And Bud, just wanted to say it's been an honor. Absolutely, my man. And yeah, we look forward to your closing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, colleagues, and good morning to the esteemed businesses who have been part of this journey. We're in partnership with Smart Procurement, as well as the City of Cape Town. My name is Andile Magadla. I am the project manager for this program. We have been in partnership with Smart Procurement for the past 8 years. From the inception when this idea came about, we have seen quite a lot of success stories in respect to how we were able to link businesses with potential buyers who are not only within the City of Cape Town's premises, but even beyond, which is exactly what we're looking at. So one of the core common goals which we have worked on in the past 8 years was seemingly to stimulate growth for SMMEs by creating platform for businesses to engage with supporting organizations through these initiatives. I can speak really quickly about the last one that we had, where we had a closeout ceremony at the City of Cape Town's premises last week, which was quite very successful. We saw the alderman who unfortunately couldn't make it today doing a handover of about 35 certificates to the successful business owners, and to those who couldn't make it, we still do have those certificates for collection at our business hub at City Center in Cape Town. I would like again to congratulate everyone who has been part of this journey and wish you everything of the best. And I would just like to echo the words I think Carolina was just speaking about as I joined in, where she said, you really have to keep going, even if you feel that there is no energy to. And also start with something that you're really passionate about and also stay loving it. I think with those three, it is quite key that in whatever that you come across in terms of your business, you'll be able to move along swiftly. And ladies and gentlemen, I saw there was a Johan query on the end. If you'd like to stay in touch with us at the city and perhaps you have no clue where to get into in terms of your business licensing processes, please contact us at business.support@capetown.gov.za. business.support@capetown.gov.za. I will also write in a contact center number that you can call us. There's only about 4 people that you can really call. It's not one of those long contact center numbers that you're gonna have to hold forever for that. It's just a quick one. Also, lastly, we saw the last event that we had, where we pulled in quite a number of potential buyers, as well as such as your Woolworths, such as your Nedbank, Absa, and other big corporates. We truly appreciate that, and we hopefully are going to be seeing a lot of success stories that are coming from that in terms of the interaction that happened on the day. And to the facilitators, thank you so much for taking all this work. As I've seen, you've been part of this journey for the past 2 years that I've been in this conference on an online platform, even though I hope we are bound to meet personally in the next couple of years. And thank you, Brett, thank you, Esther, thank you, Caroline, for the work that you have done for today. It's truly amazing. And we hope it adds more impact to these businesses and having to see them to succeed in future. Well done to everyone. And I hope you take all the lessons that you have learned today in moving forward in terms of how you put these lessons into your businesses. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, I think we're probably pretty much going to end the session. Thanks, Anthony. Thank you very much, brother. Pauline, Caroline, sorry. I saw Paulina's message.
Paulina, yeah.
How are you guys feeling? Positive.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen. Let's make money.
Hey, it's honestly, it's just, I think Caroline hit the nail on the head, and Andili said it as well. I love Mondays. Seriously, I love Mondays. And there's nothing nicer for me to share knowledge, because I know how hard stuff is. Crikey, all of us know the stuff we need to sort of struggle through and everything. And then, the guys, I am colleagues with a lot of my international competitors, and we share and we help each other, we build each other, and because no one can copy you. You know what I mean? So don't be frightened that you've got 9,000 super quick franchises around you. No one can copy you. Be you.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think sometimes we're scared, eh? We're scared that oh, if I wear my Fellies so I only wear Converse. That's the only shoes I wear. Converse high tops. So I've got a lot of them. And I get ragged sometimes about it, and I'm like, I don't care. If I want to go and visit a friend in Soweto and have a beer there around the Konka and just chill, or if I want to go and sit in Sandton in a 6-star hotel and pretend I've got lots of money, I do them with my high tops, because that's who I am. And I think that authenticity is sometimes we're a bit scared, but I think that's what makes us amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be you. Everyone else is taken.
Yeah, 100%. Well, guys, I'm going to finish off. We've all got meetings to go to. Make money. Joy, Johan, Gugu, make some money for us, please.
Yeah. Get hold of us on LinkedIn if you guys want. We're there to support you. And thanks for being such a great, lively bunch. It's always great to get feedback.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They were awesome.
And look out for the handout tomorrow, and check your spam and your junk mail that usually tend to end up there, so that you don't miss it. Because that will be
one more question. One more question, ladies. Just one more. Est, what's your highlight for the week been so far? Tell us your win for the week. My win for the week.
Caroline, my win for the week is getting the award. So I mean that's
who can top that?
Can I have 2 wins for the week?
Yeah, have to.
I'm launching my brand new training today at 3:00. So I'm very excited about it.
Yes. Okay, that's awesome.
Can people still join it?
Yeah.
Because that you do not want to miss that. It changed my life. Esti's LinkedIn training, and you know that's true, Esti. So don't even.
You're so sweet.
That I'm just saying this because she's here. It changed my life.
No, she's both very good.
That was now before chats, ne?
Yeah, before chats.
Before chats. Yeah. Okay, ladies, I'm going to end off. Come, Gugu. You guys need to hit the road. We love you lots. Much love. See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys. We're going to close the session.
Thanks for joining
Cheers,
us.
guys. Bye.
Bye.